Hi and welcome to another Sonicstate review. I'm Simon. Some of you may know me on the SonicLAB chats as Technomatic. And today I'm going to take a look at this chap, the Bela Gliss. So this is our Gliss installed in the case. As you can see, lights up, and we have our touch surface, which you can see following my finger there. Now, the core of this module are the different modes that it has, and to get into the different modes you press the button and press two fingers onto the panel, and this gives you a series of coloured lights, which is our menu system. Now it's a little bit cryptic at first, but bear with me. There's basically four different modes that we can cycle through. So if I press the green button here, this is cycles between our different modes. If I press it once, see that we get an animation of up and down, that's record mode. If I press again, that is signal mode. Press green again and we get little steps up, that's notes mode. And once more we get animation from the center out, and that is control mode. So that's our four basic modes. Okay, let's have a look at the first and arguably the most basic level of the Gliss. This is just the control mode. Now in this is just a by default, this is just a simple touch slider. I've got this patched out into the overtones control on the no coast here, so you can hear that just sweeps nicely and smoothly through the range of overtones there. Now as with all of these modes, you've got the ability to actually split this strip into two, like a keyboard split, so you can have either one long throw strip, or if I go into the menu by pressing the button, tapping on twice, I can split this into a dual slider and come back, and now you can see this has actually got two shorter separate throws, so I can automate two parameters with that. So this is still my top parameter. Now if I want to say try something else, so I have an LFO sweeping that as well, so if I take the second output and patch that into my time input on the LFO, then so that my top slider will be still changing my overtones, but this one I can change the speed so I've got two different parameters there under my fingertips, which is a really nice touch. Another nice feature, if I just go back into the menu, is we can latch these or unlatch them, or have the default one way or the other. So if I try again, that will now remain latched. So you can find a sweet spot, take your finger off and hold it there, and then if you want to clear that, you just press the button and it unlatches. So you can it's nice for adding expression and then holding in on a sweet spot. So that's a really nice little feature, the ability to be able to latch those and then just take them off with the push of a button. You can have it round either way, so you can either latch with the button or unlatch with the button, which is a really nice feature. And as also in the menus, as with all of these modes, the little blue button down here, if you press that, that switches between different voltage ranges. So if I tap this one, this is 0 to 5 volts. That gives me -5 to +10. But I'm going to go to, there we go, 0 to 10 volts, which gives me the best range of speeds on that. If I come back out of there, you'll hear that I can adjust the LFO speed far more. It goes much faster now because I've increased the output CV. So again, everything is, they seem to have thought of everything. You can configure it, each little part of this, so you can make it exactly how you want it, and you can set the CV ranges for each half if you've got a split, so you can have 0 to 5 coming out of the top one and -5 to +10 coming out of the bottom one if you want. There are different modes, but yeah, it's all configurable and it remembers all the settings when you power off, so that's great. Let's have a look now at the next mode, the record mode. So we've got the nice little animation going up and down to show we're in record mode. Now in this mode, this, as well as being able to send CVs out, this will actually record the movements that you do. So if I move around, it will now play back, I think up to 47 seconds, I think it is, whatever movements you put into the touch strip as modulation. Now the other really nice thing about this is that you can trigger this from an incoming gate or from the button on the front panel. So you can, every time you trigger that, it will fire off from the start of the recorded automation. And you can also, as I say, trigger from a gate, which effectively means this is like a really complex envelope that you can send control voltage out to any one of a number of parameters. Now the same in the same way that you can split this strip in the control menu, you can do that also within the record menu. So if I go back into the menu again, we should be able to split by pressing that first button and then come back out, and then so that's our top parameter, and then again, every time I press the key on the keyboard, the gate signal is actually triggering the start of the automation again. So this is giving you effectively two completely recordable, almost like multi-segment envelopes that you can trigger from an incoming gate source or from the front panel button, which you just press to reset. Or you can have an incoming sequencer gate or another controller, whatever gate signal you want to put in there, and that will then trigger your two sets of automation, which is great. I mean, that's a killer feature. I didn't even realise this did that when I first saw this, but this is fantastic. You can see you're getting two channels of really complex automation out of 4 HP. Really, really nice. Now, if you want to clear this automation and record something else in, you just press and hold the button, and then that wipes out the recorded information. You can hear it's now static. So and you can record in. And away you go. So that's the record mode. Okay, on to the next mode. The next mode is signal mode. Now signal mode on here basically, let me just go into signal mode. There we go, you can see the colourful indicator there. We're now in signal mode. Now this is this basically allows you to scale either incoming voltages or audio signals, so you can either have them full scale or you can scale them between certain voltages. You can also this will also, on the second output, have you can have an inverted signal coming out, or even an envelope. Let me just show you what that looks like. Let me come out of here. Now you can see the incoming signal. I've just got a slope generator here that's generating a pulsing wave. You can see it here on the scope, and you'll also see that the Bela touch strip is following that trace as well. Now if I plug in the second output as well, we can see now the green trace on the scope is inverted from this, so it's following the opposite slope to the incoming, so you can invert a signal, which is very useful. Now if we put 2 fingers on the touch strip, I can now scale that down. You can see, and there we go. You can see that's now scaled that down between 8 volts and 5 volts. So this will allow you to set that voltage range. You can see that's now below 5 volts, or I can go from 5 volts up to. So that's quite a useful little utility. Again, another feature that I hadn't even realised that this would do, but you've got that in here for scaling and inverting voltages. Now in the other mode, if I go back into the menu, we can even, if we can switch this, and this will now output an envelope shape, as you can see there. So this is taking the input trigger from here, and it's generating an output which is a basic envelope shape that's following that. And if I scale that up, you can see the red trace is our cycle generator over here, and the green trace is the output envelope that comes out of the second output. So you can actually have a second output, a second envelope output, as opposed to just the scaled version of the incoming pulse. Or this will also work with audio as well. So it's again quite a deep but potentially very useful little feature. Okay, let's have a look at the last mode now. This is notes mode. Another fantastic little secret this module's got. Let's just go into notes mode now. See a little procession of steps there. That shows us that we're in notes mode. Now notes mode has got 2 sort of main differences. You can either have it in keyboard mode, where you can play a set of 5 different notes across the keyboard, or sequencer mode. Now if I just come out of the options there, we can see now I have both outputs here connected to the volts per octave for pitch, and the second output I've got patched into the dynamic VCA just over on the right here, which you can see. So that's just giving me volume, and this now gives us a touch surface with 5 predefined notes. Now this is obviously similar to the control menu, but this obviously gives you precise 5 notes with glide between, and you can set the level of quantization between the notes there. So this is in keyboard mode. This also gives you pressure sensitivity to show you, so you can, and like I've got with the Dynamics VCA there, you can get quite a lot of different, quite a lot of expression. And again, you can scale those voltages so you can get this, dial this right into how you want to play. That's the keyboard mode. If I go back into the options, this first button here switches between keyboard and sequencer mode. Now, if I come out of here, we've got the same 5 steps, which we can define, by the way. The notes are completely configurable. You can either program them in from the touch strip, or it will take incoming control voltage. So if you want more accurate playing, you can trigger it from a keyboard or something like this and have the exact voltage go in for each note, and you can set each one of those in turn. So in sequencer mode, we've got basically a 5-step sequencer, and it will run through that sequence of notes. All I need to do is add a clock, and I shall put into the input. And we effectively get stepping between those 5 notes. Now you've also got glide, which you can hear on that, which you can actually set per note, or for the sequencer mode, so that it glides. Let me go back into the settings. Now it's the 3rd variable, so if I hit that one, we can now, so that's right off. That's glide mode, and then our second mode is basically our quantization. We can turn that on or off. So you can see we've got a rather handy little 5-step sequencer that's sending out gate and CV from this little 4 HP strip, which is it's a really cool little feature, I think. And obviously this isn't limited to just notes. These can be any 5 voltages basically, so you could have 5 stepped voltages going out and controlling a different parameter. So rather than that being pitch, you could have it controlling overtones or a filter, anything you want basically. It's just generating the voltages. So yeah, that's a nice little mode there, the notes mode. You can either have it playable or sequenceable. Nice one, like that. So let's summarise this fiendish little module, the Gliss. Well, yes, it's a nice little compact control surface, but in addition to that, it also allows you to record any movements you make on the fader. You can split the track into 2 so that you can have 2 lots of automation. You can trigger that automation from an incoming gate, so it makes it a complex modulation generator. You can also invert signals, scale signals, and even has a rudimentary sequencer. So adding this all up is quite an impressive little package to get into 4 HP. Unfortunately, the other side of that is that being this compact and not having any kind of real screen, knowing what mode you're in can be quite difficult, and the menu system can be a bit convoluted. I had to go back to the instructional video quite a few times and a bit of head scratching before I really got it. However, saying that, if you stick at it, it's well worth it, because you've got an awful lot of function in a very small module, and it's a very nice surface to use. So yeah, it should be out now. Most of the modular carriers, I think it's priced about £145 there and variants in euros or dollars. But yeah, highly recommended. I think I'm probably going to get a second one. Thanks for watching.